Hello, it's me again. Via Psych. Of course, I'm just getting some of these videos out of the way, you know, because why not? But of course, what I want to talk about next is, you know, what you put into your time now will pay off in the near future. And of course, some people, they only think about the moment. They only worry about the right now, which is why some people, they seem to never get over the moments. They never, grow up, so to speak. And, I always have, of course, found this to be selfish. It's just extremely selfish, because, you're not progressing in any way. And, you're not thinking about your future. You're ruining your relationships, etc. It's like you're so self-centered, for some people to be like that. But, if you want to be able to do anything in life, you have to think about the future a bit. Now, of course, I understand why, you got to think about the moment sometimes, because sometimes you feel like you're just having fun right now. And that's understandable. I think we all do that sometimes, but, you've got to, think about the future too. You see, something that I think a lot of people are taught nowadays is to expect something. They Society today and our younger generations are being taught to just expect something, to be given something on a silver plate. I would, of course, in some way be speaking about incels. Incels expect sex to be given on to them on a silver plate, when in reality that's not how life works. They expect, everything to just be given to them. Just because you have a nice car, you have a nice watch, you have a pair of nice sunglasses, doesn't mean that you're going to get laid. Sex doesn't just happen. And of course, being things like being successful also don't just happen. You know, things like that happen over time. And of course, when people don't get something right away, like again, incels, they aren't getting sex right away, right? So that of course makes them upset because they were taught that to expect to just get something, right? That's what our generations are being taught nowadays for some reason. Well, and it's because they're trying to sell a product to our younger generations. They're aiming, their products at our younger generations, especially like music, movies, etc. Video games. They're aiming all this at our younger generations, and so our younger generations, of course, will expect everything to just be given to them over time. And again, that's just not how it fucking works. You know, Sometimes you've got to save up your money. Sometimes you've got to make an investment. In fact, for a business, if you don't make an investment, you're losing money. For instance, some companies, in order to, thrive, they have to buy something that makes them money. So let's say I buy a candy machine, and then I buy another, and another, and another. Well, you see, what I'm trying to do there is I'm buying something that makes me money in the future. And that is how investments work. But of course, again, lots of kids nowadays aren't being taught about investments. And that is a very sad thing. And of course, again, with video games, people are just expected to be given something and complain and bitch and moan and whine when they don't. Again, like in Cyberpunk 2077's case, they didn't get something that they wanted, and it took them 8 years for them to make the game. And of course, they complained about it. It didn't come out perfect. It was still a bit incomplete, and they're still bitching about it. Of course, only the start console generation was actually the one that was really bad with the glitches. But of course, people always try to find reasons to bitch. What can I say? But, we've got to think about the future. We can't just be, sitting again in the past, in the present. We have also got to stop just expecting everything to just be given to us on a silver plate. And that's part of the reason why I'm, happy with my life, is because I just don't expect so much from it. And I actually appreciate what I get. Just like, some people nowadays, it seems like they can't appreciate the mates that they get nowadays. They don't appreciate their relationships nowadays. Because, for one, there's just too many fucking people on this planet now. I mean, there's probably, like, over millions of, like, women that I could potentially be with. And we're also way too available nowadays, on social media, obviously. And because of stuff like that, people expect something. Or just when, like, we go to college and we pay all this money for the loans and everything, we're taught to expect something. But all you're really paying for when you go to college is a degree. Workplaces are not obligated to give you a job just because you went to college. There is nothing obligated in life to give you anything. There's no free lunch. There's no free sex. There's no free anything. Just like it took them a ton of money to make the game Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, it took so much money that when the game sold and it came out on launch day, they didn't make any money on it. Not just because of that, but also because they had to give back money to the people that were not satisfied with the game. It really does take a lot of money, and it takes a lot of investment to make it in life. A lot of investment. Oh my God, just a lot of investment. But, just one more time. Never expect anything from life. Never, ever expect anything from life. Even if people seem nice enough to charm you. You've always got to watch for those charmers, let me tell you. Always watch for the charming people that say, well, they'll give you shit. Or they'll do this for you. Or they'll do that for you. If you give them this. Always watch for people like that. With that being said, I guess I'll just end this video because there isn't really much more to say. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.